A rookie on the tour and a rookie on her bag, just trying to keep the clubs as clean as the leaderboard on a Thursday morning, where everybody starts from scratch. Leslie Spalding is starting with the momentum of making her first cut in her last tournament.
It's so good to have the first cut out of the way, because, if I'd gone like 4 tournaments without making a cut, then it just gets more of a grind. And
just as everything looked to be smooth sailing, a rookie caddy's worst nightmare occurs. Rain on the first tee. Now it's time to keep the clubs dry, the grips dry, the player dry. The caddy becomes a wet duck. But just like the scene from a Hollywood movie, the clouds lift as Leslie gets ready to hit her second shot on the par 4 second, a 9-iron from 105 yards that is dead solid perfect. A remarkable eagle 2 on the second put Leslie at 2 under par. She would add a birdie on the 8th hole, and before you know it, the leaderboard gets a new name.
I like to see myself up on the leaderboard and know that I can compete, and I'm really trying to make myself get it lower and lower, make more birdies.
A couple bogeys coming in took her name off the leaderboard. Leslie finishes with a very respectable 1 under par, 71.
What do your parents have to say?
I talked to my dad. My mom was gone, but my dad was pretty excited. He knew. He had called my sisters and my grandma and everybody.
Friday brought an early tee time. Leslie stayed steady, birdieing her 6th hole to get back to 2 under. But putts stopped dropping, so superstitions came into play. We discussed where we had kept the putter in the bag when she was hot. And a little putter scolding couldn't hurt either. Leslie carded an even par 72 on Friday, keeping her 1 under, and in the tournament for the weekend, her second straight made cut.
I'm pretty happy being 1, but I know I could do better. So I've got the next 2 days to make that up and try and get it as deep as I can. Hopefully make as many birdies as I can.
Caddying is a bit more than just carrying the golfer's bag. It almost turns out to be a partnership between the two, finding yardages. When things are going well, you're their biggest cheerleader. The caddy can also serve another purpose when things are going bad.
Caddy's sometimes got to be a whipping boy. The player can't yell at the gallery or something like that, so they got to yell at somebody. But there's a lot of players out here who just chastise the caddy when it's completely their fault.
Luckily, Leslie Spalding didn't need a whipping boy, although we had our moments, like Sunday morning when the yardage book was missing, nothing that a few bucks couldn't fix. A caddy like myself is sort of an outcast among the 100 or so tour caddies, so my main goal was not to make anybody mad.
And it gets hard is when the local guy or the guy in your circumstance gets in the way. You stayed out of the way, which is all we ask as tour caddies, professionals. If we get guys like you in our group, I'll say, if you start getting in the way, I'll say, hey, just let me do everything.
I stayed out of the way. Leslie tried to stay in the hunt, but Saturday's round almost collapsed. A 4-putt from 20 feet on the par 3 6th moved Leslie over par for the first time all week.
I didn't take my time and hurried up and stepped up there and whacked it and missed it. And just have to focus on every single shot.
That made Leslie angry, but a good angry. She birdied 3 holes coming in to salvage a 73, not falling too far off the pace. Sunday brought another beautiful Tucson morning. Ten-year veteran fired her 67 to move into the top 15, while Leslie never got things going, shooting a 2 over par 74.
I was kind of a head case today. Not very settled and not very patient, I guess.
Reason?
I just felt like I was rushing all day. I don't have a reason.
Although she struggled, Leslie had alongside her the entire way a faithful contingent of over a dozen Montanans.
It's really nice. It's like being, like playing in the state amateur at home. It's just nice to have a gallery that's surrounding you, that is pulling for you.
Against a new trial, saying the jury instructions never shifted the burden of proof from the government.
Kay voted to raise his own pay 6 times. Rick Hill is different.
Montana's own Todd Foster steps back into the ring tomorrow night in Helena, planning to match him punch for punch. A 35-year-old he played amongst friends today at Yellowstone Country Club and Peter Yeagan in Billings. She'll return to the LPGA Tour in 2 weeks' time with hopes of nailing down a spot for 1997.
My goal for the next couple of months is to get a top 5 finish, because that'll secure me a card, I think. I just want to play as well as I can. I'm going to be working a lot on my mental game coming up. The ultimate goal to keep my exempt status and get up there on the money list.
While Leslie has the week off, some of her fellow tour members are hoping to cash in at the U.S. Women's Open in North Carolina. Meg Mallon on hole number 16, looking for the ace.
Terrible.
Not quite. Annika Sorenstam is the clubhouse leader at 3 under par. On the men's circuit, the tour stop this week is the Memorial in Dublin, Ohio, where the hazards are truly hazards. One can only imagine what was keeping Steve Jones company as he waded into that swamp. The results of his labor were hardly what he was looking for. Back into another hazard. John Houston flirted with a 59 today, which would have been the lowest score ever in an American professional tournament, but had to settle for a 61. In case you haven't heard, Pryor Creek
There's another break, but not a breakdown in the budget talks in Washington, and 2 U.S. senators tell farmers Congress